All right, let's start then. Hello, everyone. We're very happy to have you all join us. Welcome to the Let's Get Ready Together webinar sequence. Today, we're going to talk about the creation of classrooms and the management of students' progress. Yay, the most exciting. My name is Monica. I'm the Customer Success Manager, and I'll be leading this webinar today alongside Stephen Lickens. He's right here.
Hey, everybody.
Yes. He's our web developer senior, and he can and will answer just about any doubts you may have. Okay. And the plan for these sessions is for them to assist you in setting up everything for your classes. In order to do so, I'll ask you to open your browser and log into your Brain Buffet account. Okay. If you are new, you should have received an email like this one. Okay. So this email has the information of the license, the high school, the courses that you have access to, and down here you should have your credentials. Okay, so your email and your password. This is what you put in the web page in order to go in. All right, we are gonna give a few minutes for you to log in, for everyone to log in so we can continue on. In the meantime, I'd like to invite Stephen to share a little bit about our story, please.
Yeah, so like Monica said, as everyone's joining and potentially logging in, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Brain Buffet and our history and how you might have used our platform before or how you might begin to use it if you're a new customer or a new user of the platform. So essentially, Brain Buffet was created by a teacher and an eventual subject matter expert of ours, Rob, a few years back. It was actually over a decade ago now. And he basically created it as a way for his own classroom to interact with his lesson plans. But then it evolved as more teachers started to catch on to what he was doing and wanted to also have access to these lesson plans and these things that he was teaching via these videos he was creating on the Adobe platform. So eventually, over time, the state of Florida, the teachers, talked to each other and started learning more about Brain Buffet. And it grew to be much bigger as Certiport became involved and got involved with test prep for Adobe and Microsoft. And now one of Rob's former students actually has taken over the company and is helping to move it in that direction towards getting us all of the courses that Certiport offers. We're trying to really create courses for all of the Certiport offerings and move away from just being Adobe and Microsoft. But the idea there is still the same. We want to be used by teachers, and we want to make teachers' lives easier and more streamlined as far as getting their grades goes and getting their students taught in these softwares. So essentially, what we're going to be showing today is the context of how to interact with Brain Buffet as a teacher. You will have gotten this email if you have already been added as a teacher by your licensed manager. If you are like the only person in your school that's dealing with Brain Buffet, you might even be the license manager as well. We did do a license manager webinar yesterday where we went over how to add teachers and manage licenses with your whole package. More videos about that are going to be posted to our website and our YouTube channel, but today's focus is going to be on how to interact with Brain Buffet as a teacher, how to create classrooms, organize your students, add students to your classrooms so they have access, and view their grades and their quiz scores.
Right. Thank you, Stephen. I sent a message on the chat. If you have already logged into your account, please react to the message, or you can just send the message saying you have already access, so we can know that we're good to continue. I'm gonna change the screen. All right. I'm aware that not everyone is following along, so We're
There,
gonna-
Monica. This is Jeff Zacharias. I'm new to Brain Buffet and teaching digital media, but my school, I got an email about a week ago. They're saying that like the funds to get Brain Buffet, they're still trying to work that out, and that when the orders are complete, then I'll be assisted with setting up my teacher account. Would this still be helpful, or should I
Mhm.
stay on if I can't open up an account and follow along?
Have you used BrainFit before? Sorry.
Nope, I'm new to. I mean, they at the end of
Okay.
the school year at the end of May, they sent me this login just to check it out, but I couldn't really figure much out in there. And then now that those credentials aren't working, so that must have expired, my little free trial. So
Even when the free trial's over, you should have access to the account because the account's linked to your email, not the package itself.
Yeah, you may be able to send if you want to send your email, like just send an email to support@brainbuffet.com with your email address. We can check the
Okay.
email to make sure that the account exists. But regardless, if you just want to stick around for this, it'll definitely be helpful.
Okay.
It'll be a little bit more of a back and forth. We'll have questions and answers. We'll also have some very pointed tutorial videos and PDF-based tutorials on all of this stuff as well, very easily accessible from the site. So you'll be able to learn all this stuff as you go there as well. But
Okay.
this will be a good like overview with maybe some more questions and answers that might be more clear.
Yeah, great. I'll stay on then. Thank you.
Yes. Also, if you don't have access to the package, you can you still have access to the platform, so you can see most of the options I'm gonna walk you through. Talking about that too, don't feel tied up to follow everything I'm going through. If you want, you can just explore the website. At the end, we're gonna have some Q&A, so you can just bring us your questions. They're the most important thing. Our goal here is for you guys to be ready to start your classes. So any doubt is good for us. All right. With that being said, we're gonna begin. Let's begin. Here on the upper left side, you have the My Class button. We're gonna click on that. If you're a license manager, you're gonna have another option here. We're going for My Class for the teacher options. Okay. In here we have, this is actually pretty important. It's not seen by many, but here we have some information. We update this weekly usually, so we're bringing more information about updates on the platform, about events and everything. You can see this on this side, but if it's bothering you, you can always collapse this section and there you'll be free from that, so you can focus on your classroom if you're not very interested in that information. And here we're going to start with the creation of the classroom. First thing, I need you to make sure that you are on the class information here on the left side, right here. Make sure that you're in the class information tab. Otherwise, you won't see the same things as me.
Monica, I was in this yesterday, and today it looks totally different. I'm on some screen and I can't figure out where I'm at, but it says, "Welcome back, Mike. Here's where you left off." And it has quizzes and certificates for everything in Adobe. I just can't find the one where I was.
Okay, do
Hey,
you
it
see this
sounds like
option here?
it sounds like you might be on the My Courses page instead of the My Class page.
Yes.
Okay.
Select
so
this
we're-
first option here,
My class.
class information.
Well, hello. Thank you.
Yep.
Great.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, that happens. That's why I'm sure we're all on the same page. Okay, so from here, we're gonna click on Add New Classroom. Now you may have only one package or you may have more than one. Depending on the package you use to create the classroom, those will be the courses that your students will have access to, okay? So if you wanna make an Adobe Classroom, you will go with this one that says Elite. You will give your classroom a name. Animation 2 sounds good. And you will put here the total number of students you want in that classroom. If I'm gonna have up to 25, I'm not sure yet. I'm just gonna put 25 here. I can always change this number later, but I don't want to run short on this number, and I will show you why later on. And that's it for the creation of the classroom. Refresh the data, clicking there, and it should be done. Okay. Now, on to adding students. Yes, we're gonna look at the options inside here after we have added the students. So here, again, on the left side menu, we're gonna select student roster right here. Okay. Here we're gonna select the classroom we want to work on. I'm gonna add students to the Animation 2 classroom. And I'm gonna click here and enroll new user. Just a moment. Okay, we're gonna go through the options afterwards. Here you can just add the student one by one. You can put their name, their email, and add user. If they have, if they already have an account, they will be added automatically. They will be added once you send this. If they don't have an account though, they will receive an email with their login information. If their email does not accept emails from other sources though, they won't be able to create their account through there. And that case scenario, we're gonna have to go through the link. I'm going back now to the class information here on the left side menu. And next to our classroom, we're gonna have the view link option next to the view courses and the trash can. If I give my student this link, they will access on their own to this page right here. I'm sorry, non-user. This is what they will see when they click the link. So they will be able to put their first name, their last name, the username they want, their email, and their password. They will register and join the classroom. If they already have an account and you give them that link, they will receive, they will go to this page where they only have to click on join this group. But again, if they already have an account, you can just add them through here without a problem.
Yeah,
we're
I just
gonna
want to
go-
jump in here real quick, Monica, to
Yeah.
clarify a couple things. So Monica first was showing the student roster as a way to import users. And I just want to note again, it's very important that you know if you add users using this form here, it's very simple. You just type in their first name, last name, email, and you do that for each student, click add users, and each of those students is going to get an email. It's very common for districts and schools to block student emails from receiving outside emails, which means when they receive their email from support@brainbuffet.com with their login information, it might go directly to spam or some other filtered inbox where they can't actually see it. And in that case, you're going to have to use the link that was just shown. So each of your classrooms that's created is going to have that link in the class information section. And you can just distribute that to your students either through a learning management system or maybe even on the whiteboard, even though it's kind of a long thing to write out. You can share that with your students and they can go to that link directly. And they don't have to be able to receive an email from outside sources, which is just something that we've encountered a lot over the years with a lot of different districts. So it's very important to note that the link is usually the easiest way to add your students.
Yes, thank you very much for the clarification, Steven. There is another way to add students. We talked a little about this yesterday. From here, the student roster menu on the left side, you're gonna select enroll new user. And here you're gonna click on upload users. This is to add more than one. And here you're gonna use a CSV file that we were talking about. And here you have a sample, so you know how to organize that information in order for the website to accept it properly. I've got this right here. We got the roster example. This is what it's gonna look like. This is what it looks like. Okay, so we have the first name, last name, and their email. That's it. Okay, you can, if you have this information, it's easier to upload. If they already have an account, this will work if you just upload this file, or if you or if they have access to their email, to receive email from outside sources. If that's not the case, then this option won't be very helpful. If you want, you can always open this file through, I use Google for opening it. I just put it on my drive and I open it through there, and then I edit this file. You just click here on File, Downloads, and you select this option here, comma separated values. This is a CSV file that you're gonna download. And then you just come here. You just choose this file. I think I have a lot of them here, but no. Here, imported roster. So I select the file that I edited before, and then I click on upload. And it will upload up to 100 students. That's the limit. Okay. And that's it. In this case, these users already had an account, so they were able to be added. So if these students worked with Brain Buffet last year, you will be able to add them this year. And if they didn't receive the email, they were not able to be added through here, you can always send them the link, put in a platform where all your students have access to, or you can upload them and create their account manually. Now, that would be the options on how to add the students. Do we have any questions on that part? Or would you
I
can
do
make the
I have
question?
a question. Yeah. Okay. So when we add the students, do we put their names and everything in there first, then give them the link, and then they go to the link? What happens when they go to the link? What happens then? What will they see? How will they be added then?
Yes. So if you click on the link, this is what you will see. This is if they already have an account, they
Okay.
can just
Okay.
click on
see.
join this group.
Ah,
If they
okay,
don't
great.
have
Thank
an
you.
account, they will be able to create their account to join the group.
Awesome. Thank you.
They have the two
Yep.
options, the link or you uploading them manually if they have access to, if we have access to their email or if they already have an account. These are options.
So,
if-
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Margaret.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so I don't actually have to type all their names in if I give them the link then,
Correct.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, that's exactly what I was going to ask. And then we get that information from them when they automatically enter themselves when they sign in.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Generally, the link is the easiest way. We found, the CSV is kind of nice if there's like an export option. If you use Canvas or something like that, you can export the roster and then import it to Brain Buffet. That's kind of easy, but that requires the students to all receive that email, go click it, and you have to, set up their accounts. If you use the link, the students are in charge of all of that. Which, if it's elementary school students, it might not be the best, but for middle and high school students, they can usually deal with clicking a link and filling out the form.
Yes, and also you will have that information afterwards here. So when you click on student roster, you're gonna select your classroom. You're gonna see the information they've inputted here. So you have their names and their email. Okay. Do we have another question on this subject? All right then. Okay, so what are the options here on the student roster tab? We can first, let's go through the student options. We can reinvite them. So send that email again. If they lost it or they didn't receive it, they can just reinvite them. We can remove them from here. I don't remember which one. You can just remove them from here, or you can reset their password. So if they know their email, but they forgot their password, you can just come here and you just type their new password. So hello, 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's it. It was changed so they can just log in. And you can see here the email they used to create the account. So you can tell them, oh, your email is this one. And I just change your password to hello 1, 2, 3. And then they can change it afterwards.
Can you show that one more time? I've got you minimized so I can see mine and it's small. I gotta figure out another way
Okay.
here.
Maybe you can see it better here.
That's
I'm
better.
gonna reset Hunter's password. Oh, it's still small.
Okay, might want to resume that back out. I'm not sure how much that actually helped. But yeah, basically there's the reset password button all the way to the right of the students here on this list. And all you have to do is click that and a little window pops up and you can just type in a password for them and immediately reset their password. This is helpful for if you have a student in a classroom who's just not able to get into their account, they can't get a password reset email or something like that.
Okay, so you have the control of their access through here. And if the student's no longer with you, you can just remove them from here. And that's it. They won't have access to the courses anymore. To add new students, just here through the enroll new user. Here's to select all students. In case you want to remove them all from once or remove selected students. I guess that would be, yeah, the only option for selecting all students. You can just select them manually too.
So Monica, quick question.
Yes.
If you got Billy comes in and we give him a license and then Billy decides he's going to go back to PE or whatever, did we burn that license by giving Billy an account or do we get that license back?
Yeah, so the way that Certiport has set up the sale, like licensing now, is to work exactly that way. Essentially, if you have a classroom come in or a student come into a classroom and then that student leaves, that license is essentially used. And that's
Right.
very important to keep in mind for if you're purchasing for the whole year, if you're doing like a multi-semester classroom where all the students are going to switch out in the spring, you're not going to get back those first set of licenses from the fall. Your school's going to have to purchase all the licenses for the fall and the spring, for example. So that's a very important question and very important to keep in mind.
Just making sure. I thought so, but just making sure. Thanks.
Yep.
Great. And then
I'm
yes,
sorry, can I chime in on that?
yes, please.
With my particular set, I've got an alternative school that I teach at, so my population is very fluid. If I have a student that comes in and I assign them a license and then they leave for whatever reasons and then return to me later, is there a way that I can just like move that license to be inactive and then keep them, reactivate it when they come back in? Or am I better off just to say, okay, I'm going to use 20 licenses for this class, and then if I have to go in and request a 21st license to give to that kid when he comes back again? Does that make sense?
That makes sense. So could I ask how, like, what's the time period of that student being gone? Would it be for like longer than a year? Would it be a semester? Would it be like 6 weeks, you think?
It
Or is it
could
very
be all of
fluid?
those things.
Okay,
It
gotcha.
could be all of those things, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
as a
basically,
teacher, like I know I would just, if I knew that this kid is just going to be out because he's got something he's got to take care of for 2 weeks at a time, I can hold off on that. But if sometimes we don't get that notice of how long their time away will be.
right. So yeah, the way that Certiport would like sell this is that basically the number of licenses that you need for the entire year. So it's going to be each package that you purchase is going to be for 365. Oh, sorry. Was there a question? Okay, I think.
Sorry, my kids are in the background talking. I'll mute my.
Gotcha. No problem. My bad. So, yeah, essentially the 365 days that are in the year, that's when the package is going to expire, and all the licenses that you started with, whether that's 100, 300, 500 are our standard packages, those are going to reset when you renew. So you'll get all those licenses back at the beginning of the next cycle. So essentially, there's not really a way for us on our side to like inactivate a license. Basically, if that student is removed, they're removed. You might, in some cases, be better off like keeping that student in, but then you're not clearing up another space for another student or anything like that. So you might, if you have a very specific circumstance like that and your school isn't following your standard spring and fall semesters, you might want to speak with your Certiport representative about that. They might be able to help you. But on our end, there's no like technology or code behind that type of interacting with the site, unfortunately.
Also, I'd recommend if you've already signed them up to leave them as long as the license goes. if they come back or not. If not, they just won't have progress, and you will know that that student's not going, or if they come up later on. We're gonna go walk through the student progress now, so you'll be able to see that. So if they already took out the license, I'd recommend you keeping them there. Really.
Yeah. For now, yeah, that would probably be the best solution. Because like you're not really like by getting rid of one or making it inactive, you're not freeing anything up. So like Monica said, I recommend keeping them there in the classroom until they are going to actually be completely gone if possible.
Mhm. This is most for when you finish the school year, you renew your package, then you can just remove these ones and add the new ones for this classroom, or create a new classroom. You can just delete the entire classroom. They're just options, or maybe you want to switch them from, well, that's not the best idea, but you can also switch them. Oh, we don't have another classroom, but you could write their name on the other classroom in case it was necessary for the course progression. Okay, so those would be the options here. Oh yeah. If you alter here, let's say this is your final list of students, you can just export this roster again. Or if you wanna make any change, you can just export this one as a CSV file. It would look just like this one afterwards with the student's information, in case you have a need for that. And those would be the options here for the student roster. All right, do we have any questions for this tab? Any other questions?
I have a question. Is there a way to, so I've got my class set up and I've got my kiddos in, but is there a way to embed this content into my school's LMS, which is Canvas, rather than sending them out to different links and whatnot, if I could just put it all in one spot?
Yeah, I can speak on that a little bit. So there is no like single sign-on or LTI integration with Canvas or any of those learning management systems like Blackboard, things like that. Basically, you are going to have to send, you can put the module links and the topic links into your LMS to kind of like build out the course there if you'd like, so that they have an idea of where to go for each section that you're trying to teach. Like if you, per se, you might want to do it out of order or in a specific way or something like that. But there's no way to like embed, like you were saying, to have it to where they just log into Canvas and that's the only place they need to go. At any rate, you're going to have to link them out to Brain Buffet. They'll have to sign into their Brain Buffet account. And then if you in order to get their grades back into Canvas, you're going to have to either manually add them or export the grades as a CSV and then it's CSV index.
Okay, yeah, the exporting, I kind of do that already with my section headings in Canvas to tell them where they need to be at in Brain Buffet, but the grading part was so meticulous with just manually going in. So I definitely would appreciate just a quick view of that export import. I'm fairly familiar with the process, but maybe just a quick view of it would be great for that.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Monica's definitely going to go over the exporting process. On our end, it's just a simple button press, but it's going to be different for every learning management system, including Canvas versus Blackboard versus Moodle. So we can't necessarily go into the importing process with Canvas specifically, but we can definitely go over how we can export it on our end and what that export looks like.
So,
Thank you.
now we're here to help. So that will be it for the student roster tab. I just want to mention one last thing. It's the welcome videos right here. Remember, we collapsed this section. Here we have the weekly information that we sent out for you guys. And here we have the welcoming videos, which will help you learn how to register students, how to remove your students, how to change their password. All of this that we're going through now, it's right here, okay? It's in the My Class page for you guys to use, all right? And that would be it for this tab then. We're gonna go on to course progression. We're gonna talk about instructor files tomorrow with one of our curriculum team. with our curriculum team so they can show you how they work, how the videos work, how all of this classroom should work using this material. Today we're just going on to see the students' progression and the classroom creation. So here's your course progression. The students that I added, they already have progress, so you guys can see. You will select here your classroom, because you might have more than one classroom, so you'll select the one you want to work on. And here you're going to select the course. In this case, we're going to do After Effects. And here you have the project they're working on. You will have a general overview here, but you can select a specific project that you're working on. So if everyone's doing project 3 right now, you want to see who finished it, who didn't. Okay, so here I can see that Bronson did finish. He actually finished the whole course. It says 100%. Alfonso has done 31% of the course. Max has done 24%. Alan, she did only 1%. Maybe she started with us and then she had to leave. I just left the student there, so I don't see any progress. There is no progress because she's not coming to class, but I can see that from here. And you can also download the certificate from your students through here if they have finished already. If I click on select project, well, and here you can see the overall of their project. So how much they have done, how many topics they have finished. And here you can see that these 3 users here have already finished all of it. And in here, I can export all data. Okay, so I can export all of this progress that they have done. Right here. And this is what it looks like. I have a bar right here. All right, so here you have their names, and this is the percentage we were seeing. Okay, so 100%, 100%, and they have finished this project in specific that I selected. This is what I can see from here, and this is the information I can put on my report. More than score, they will have the percentage of the course that they have done. Okay, this is for the lesson report. It's a general report on how they're doing on the videos.
Hey, Monica, real quick, could you please just real quick on this tab, go ahead and download another report there, because the button up there with the eye and the 3 lines will actually change what exports. So in the export file that Monica was just showing, that was for specifically the very first project, which is the project information or the project files project. So it just has 1 lesson. So you're just seeing the 1 X for that 1 lesson. But if we are on a project that has more lessons, then we should see more. Just wanted to show you because that specific example of that CSV didn't really show a great importable example of like percentage scores, which is most likely what teachers are going to want when importing into something like Canvas. So I just wanted to show that there are a couple different ways to download that.
And I'm sorry because I'm a new teacher as well, but I'm trying to figure out, how do you grade something like this? I mean, no offense, but are we supposed to go through all 40 hours of this ourselves? Because I mean, I better start now. School starts in a week.
Well, we do. So Monica's going to go over this as well in just a second. The instructor files have the rubrics and like the finished assignments and some different like worksheets and things like that you can use to grade. So rather than like, you don't have to be an expert in the software that you're teaching in order to grade this. You just have to make sure that the students are following along with the videos, which you can do by seeing if they have a check mark on each video. That means they've watched the video and answered the questions within the video. And then you obviously have the pre-quizzes and the post-quizzes, and there should be a major discrepancy in the scores between those if it's someone who's new to the software. And then finally, the rubrics for grading the projects. So as they're following along, each module is going to introduce kind of a new project, and that's going to have its own project files and its own rubric that you can use to compare alongside our finished file that we're going to provide to you as the teacher. So that way you can just take a look at what they've done, compare it to what it's supposed to look like, and then grade that way alongside our rubric. So that should all help. And Monica will go into a little bit more detail about that in a minute here.
Yeah,
And actually our meeting tomorrow is going to go into much
Yeah.
greater detail about all of those things. We're going to spend about an hour specifically on the instructor files with the curriculum team. So it's going to be much more informative, I'm sure, than what me and Monica can pull off there.
Yeah, we're gonna go through those because the teacher files were meant to support teachers that don't have experience using the software. So we're gonna show you the before and after images of what project they're working on, so you know what it should look like, if they're following up, if they're not. And we also have, for each project, we have quizzes. All right, this is the overall view. That's why it's called the course progression. So you're gonna be able to see if they watched the video or not. After, I was actually gonna show this later, but after they've finished the video, a project, they have a quiz. And that's what we can see through here, the quiz reports. Again, you select your classroom, you will select the course, and here you'll be able to see. You will also select here the pre-assessment quiz or the project 1 quiz. You have 2 quizzes at the beginning and at the end of each course. We're gonna go with, we're doing After Effects, right? So we're gonna go into the course to show you a little, but we'll go into detail tomorrow for you to see. So here you have the first one. Here you have the first pre-assessment test. The pre-assessment test is gonna ask all the quiz questions, but before they watch the video, so they can get familiarized with the questions and what they're looking for when they're watching the other videos. So they're gonna take the test. They're just going to answer. This one usually has really bad score, and it's meant to have because it's just to get them familiarized with these words, with the screen idea, the things that they're gonna have to pay attention to when they do the actual quiz. So this is before, as you can see here. This is happening before the videos. This is all project 1. And here we have the quiz, the actual assessment test. All right. And this one, they need to get over 80% in order to pass the test. If they don't get over 80%, they won't get their completion certificate. So they need to get that score, or it will show that they never finished the course, even though they might have watched all the videos. All right, and the score of this test here, and the other one too, is gonna be right here in the quiz report page. Okay, so here you can select which quiz you're working on, which project you're working on, you can see. So here I can see how many attempts they had. All of them only did 1 attempt. And here you can see that Alfonso got 10 out of 18. He got 55%, so he didn't pass this test. And here I can review the test if I want to. And I can see which is the correct answer, which he has chosen. So I can see, click here, see answer. Okay, so he got this one right. He got this one wrong. Okay, the right answer was this one, and he clicked this one. I can see how much he took to answer that question. If he got the wrong answer, the right answer, and if I click here, I can see the details of each question. Okay, I can do this for all of the students, or you can just see the quiz score right here. The number of correct questions and the total questions. You can just see all of this from here, and you can just export this data as well. And it will look like this. So here I can see the number of attempts. They have infinite number of attempts. There's no specific number. As long as they try, you will see here how many times they have tried and what score they got. So here he got a quiz score of 66%. And this is the time.
Yes.
And when they did it. In this case, it was all on the same day. And I can see all this information from here. And this would be one of the grading methods we have, but we also have some others that we're going to talk about tomorrow specifically. Let me go here. Yes. All right, so what options do we have for the students in this tab specifically? We can download the certificate if they have finished the course. Here we can hide other students. So if I want to talk to specific student about their progress, about their how they're doing, I can just hide the other students and talk to them about their score right here. Just clicking here on this I button here.
Mm.
And here I can see a detailed report of the specific student. Sometimes they are working on more than one course, and I can see that through here. So these are all the classrooms they are part of. That's a lot of classrooms. The account managers, so all of the persons that have added this person into their classroom. And here I can see that they have done both. They're doing both After Effects and Photoshop. And here I have an overview of all of these courses. So they have access to all of these courses, but they're going to be working on one with you. So After Effects, they have already finished it, have done all of it. And Photoshop, they're 52% completed, so they're halfway through. If I click down here, I can see which videos they have watched. This is to be very specific. Also, this is very, I wouldn't say very important, but it's important information. So if they're having a problem with watching a video and it's not checking the video, you can just go ahead and check it from here. Okay, it just won't grade them on assessment tests or anything, but you can just check them from here. If you see there's a need, if they had some problem with internet connection and didn't check or anything like that, you can do that from here manually. If you want to, you have that option. Here we can see how many times they have attempted the quizzes and what their percentage was. So this person didn't manage to get anything right. They didn't get a score on that. And this is a fake user, so they don't have a score even though they have finished the After Effects course. But that's what happens when you don't. You won't be able to see the score through here. Okay, and you can click here to change the order, their names, if it's by last name, if it's by first name, by the time they've submitted their test, and the quiz details too. And that would be it for the quiz report tab. Do we have any questions from here? Nope. We're all good. Let me just check here. Okay, we're gonna go back then to the class information tabs all the way on top. And we're gonna see the options we have here. Okay. So from here, we can see our classroom name. We can change that whenever we want. We have the expiration date of the package. So if your students are not being able to see the videos and this expiration date has passed, then that's probably why. So it's good to keep an eye on this. This is the number of students that you have registered into the classroom. And this is how many seats you still have, licenses you have still assigned here. At times, maybe you won't need more. You'd be like, okay, we closed with 9, so I'm just gonna remove those. I have 9 students, so I'm gonna change this number to 9. I can change that whenever I want to.
Where did you change that? Because that's what I'm curious. I got a feeling I got more kids than I got licenses, but I can at least start.
Great. Okay, so you're here in class information. You
Right.
have your classroom. Here, this red button right here that says manage seats. You're gonna click on it. And here you can see how many students you have registered in that classroom. So I have 9. And this is the total amount. Here's where you can see the total amount of licenses you have been assigned by your license manager. Okay, so I have 100. So then I can see if I need more here, if I need less there, I can manage that. So for this classroom, I'm just gonna need 9, so I can just change that. Yes?
Yeah. And I'll jump in there too real quick, just to say that as far as your licenses go, once you assign licenses to a classroom, that does not mean those licenses are forever stuck there. Once a student starts using that license, yes, you will not get that license back. But if you create a classroom with 25 potential students in it, only add 9 to it, and then take away those other 21, you can go add those to another classroom. Those are just unused licenses. The whole idea there with like the licenses in the classrooms is just you can use these classrooms to separate like your different class periods. So essentially every pack, or for example, if you're a teacher who teaches 2 different programs, like if you teach MOS and Adobe, you might have multiple different classrooms. 4 of them are a part of the Adobe package, 4 of them are a part of the Microsoft package. So that's where that all comes into play, and you just kind of create the classrooms as organizational structures for your students to fit into. So just I say all that to clarify that it only matters when your student actually takes up that license. That's when it's being used. When you assign the license to the classroom, it's not being used yet. Hopefully that clears things up there.
Yes, thank you, Stephen. Now, there is something about removing those licenses though. As you can see, the registrations remaining here is 0. So if I want to add another student that showed up out of nowhere and I give them the link, this is the message that they will see. Not enough seats to join the classroom because there aren't any, sorry. There aren't any registrations remaining here. So you're gonna have to click here. You're gonna have to add. This is the total number of students you want that classroom. Remember, always it's the total number. So I want 1 more. So I'm gonna add, change that number to 10. Save changes. Refresh the data. And now this link should take me to join the classroom. Yes, so now I can join the classroom. But if not, this is the message that I will get. So if you students getting this message, is because there are no seats here. You need to leave remaining seats for them to join through the link. Okay, is that clear? A bit confusing. All right. Okay, so that would be it for that. Here you can see the courses that you have in the classroom. Because sometimes, like Stephen said, you may have a Microsoft classroom. So you can just click here to make sure they're in the right, they have the right content for them to work on. Here you can just delete the whole classroom in one go. And those would be the options for this classroom, okay, for the classroom. But in this page, we also have another option that is the request more licenses. This option may or may not be available for you. This is something that's up for the license manager to decide. They can decide if they want to let you take more licenses or if they want you to go reach out to them in order for them to give you more licenses. But if you do have this button and you need more licenses, you can just click here and then you select the package you need. So I need more Adobe licenses. I need 1 more. I can just request from here, refresh the page, and that should give me another license. I can see here the total number of licenses I have available now. It's 101.
Where did you say you request that? I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to do that or if I got to go through
Right
my.
here. This
But
button here.
if I'm a teacher and there's an administrator, I won't have that button, right?
If the administrator allowed you to request more licenses, you will have it. If
Yeah,
they
yeah,
didn't, you won't.
yeah, I don't think I do.
Yeah, basically from here on out, we've actually made that the default option. So pretty much, at least I'm pretty sure at this point, everyone who has a new teacher should have that option by default. But yeah, like Monica said, the license manager is really going to have control over whether or not you can see that button. Basically, it's up to the license manager if they want to play more of like a role in actually managing those licenses, or if they trust the teachers to just do it themselves. And we get a lot of different cases. Some of them really like to have full control, and if they don't have full control, it's actually like a an issue as far as getting funds and making sure funds are allocated properly. But then we have the other half of the users that really, they can't trust their license manager to always be on top of giving them licenses, and they don't have that worry. So this was our kind of solution for making both sets of people happy as much as possible.
Stephen, did you say trust the teachers?
Well, the license manager is sometimes like,
No, I know, I got it. I was making a joke. I get you. Thank you.
yeah, so yeah, basically we do have like very separate ideas on how the license management should be handled. So that's kind of our way of separating those groups of users. So all this being said, if you don't have enough users, or if you don't have enough licenses, if you're not seeing the correct buttons, if you are just totally lost and need help, the My Class page here and the license management dashboard page both have a chat button in the bottom right. And Monica, if you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yes, we will. Are we clear on these options though? We're all good. I see a question here on the chat. How do you remove licenses from the classroom? I tried and it wouldn't let me put.
Yeah, I was actually just typing in the response to that one there. So basically with that, you don't want to put a negative number. You're always going to want to put the maximum number that you want to change to. So like Monica was saying earlier, if you're trying to change from 15 down to 11, you first have to make sure that you don't have already more than 11 students registered to the classroom. Because if you do, the box will turn red and it won't let you select that number. Like here for instance,
Yeah.
if Monica tried to make this number 8, it's going to be red. So in your case, as long as like, for example, if you have 0 out of 15 students in there right now, because it's the beginning of the year and no one's been added yet, you should just be able to make that number right there 11, and it will turn the box green, and then you'll be good to go. And you can just click save changes there. So yeah, that is always going to be just changing it to the maximum number of students that will be in that classroom.
Great. It's also good to remember if you're using the roster to add your students, make sure that you have enough seats. So if you have 25 students and you've created a classroom for only 20, the roster won't load. It will just keep on loading forever and you won't be able to add those students. So make sure you always have the right number. You can even add a little bit more just to make sure, and afterwards you can reallocate those licenses. That's not an issue. Just click here and you change the number to whatever you need. You can't have you can't put a number that's inferior to the number of students you already have registered for that classroom. Okay? Do you have any other questions on this specific subject? No? Okay. So now we're gonna see this bubble here on the right side. Here, this is Barry. Barry's gonna assist you with our frequently asked questions. So if you need help with something, you can just ask him and he will show you a frequently asked question article. You can read it. If it's not helping you though, you can just select the option no, that's not helpful. It was not helpful for you, and it will send you straight to a live agent, okay, that will assist you in class with whatever's that you need. This live agent is available from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. EST, okay, from Monday to Friday, okay? So this is here, okay? This is only available on the My Class page because we couldn't make it available for students. We wanted teachers to have the support first. So in any other page, you won't have it. Only in the My Class page. And for license managers, it's also in the license management dashboard. Both of them.
I don't see the help button or what you were talking about. We're
down here. Can you see it from?
Yeah, it should
from
be
my
all the way on the
screen?
bottom right. It should be
Yeah,
hovering
I'm gonna
along
change
with the
this
page with
as
you.
well. Right here. Can you see it
I
in
don't
my
have it.
screen though?
Yeah, I see it on your screen. I don't see it on
Okay.
my screen.
Huh, that's interesting. It's good to know.
If you could send us a screenshot to support@brainbuffet.com, we can help you out with that.
Yeah, that would be great. This is actually a new feature. This is going to be the first time we're using this feature this year. So we definitely are, always, not just with this, but with anything, always open to feedback, suggestions. If you have any questions, you can email us support@brainbuffet.com, or you can go to brainbuffet.com/contact and you can fill out a support ticket that way. And just so you guys know, all of your support tickets are going to go directly to me and or Monica first. And then if it's something that Monica can help with, which is pretty much anything, usually it's going to be Monica helping you. If it's a technical issue or something with the website, it's going to be pushed straight to me. And anything that's like specific about curriculum questions or specific quiz questions or video questions, that's going to go straight to either Sam or Tashi, who are both going to be here tomorrow in our curriculum webinar. So
Where did you say to send this?
yeah, you can send that to support@brainbuffet.com.
It's on the chat, if you can see it.
Yep,
Well,
and that goes for everybody too. Just support@brainbuffet.com is our active email inbox for support inquiries.
Yes,
if
you
I
can
can-
also click here on the little person icon, select contact, and it will open a form that will direct it to support too. Okay, so here you can put what you're looking for, your name. It's good to have your school name always,
There you go.
because that way we can find the group that's a part of and everything else. So the more things you can put in here, it's gonna be better for us to help you.
Yeah, some feedback that I would just suggest or offer up would be to maybe include the text next to the chat support icon at the bottom. It's not necessarily universal to all of this just yet. So if you just put help chat or help support down there with it, then if we see it, we click on it. The other one that I noticed was new, and I'm really excited about seeing is the web accessibility icon on the bottom left hand of the screen. That's pretty cool because we all have kiddos that need additional support. So thank you for partnering and doing that.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that I'm excited about too as a developer. It's something that we've been trying to get into for a while now. We're actually working with a third party now to help us out there. And that being said, that button, if you click on that side on the far left, it will allow you to submit questions or feedback specifically about accessibility related stuff. And that'll go directly to me through our accessibility portal. So yeah, that's something that's been a huge kind of initiative of ours this year, is to go through and really make the whole site and all of our curriculum much more accessible. So yeah, that's something that we're really focusing on.
Yes, and thank you for that feedback. It's very important for us to understand better. If we don't have the feedback, we won't really know which things we need to change. And our goal is to support in every way. So thank you very much for that. Do you have, we should actually open up for Q&A right now. Do you guys have any other questions of any specific subject or something not related that you may have found on the website or are just curious about?
I have a question if I may. I know this is probably going to be answered with tomorrow's session, but I'm in a conference and I won't be able to be in. I'm looking at my courses offerings, and I noticed and saw in there that they're going to be removing the enrichment courses. I see now that it'll say expert. So you have like Microsoft Word certification course, and then there's Microsoft Word expert certification course. So both of those will come with separate certifications. Am I understanding that correctly? Or will they only certify in one course and the other is just going to be kind of like the enrichment was, but just
That's a good
revamped and new
question.
title?
That's a really good question. And I honestly don't want to answer it without knowing 100% certain myself. And as the tech person, that's not my area of expertise. But I will say, first of all, the recording or the video tomorrow is going to be recorded. So if you want to check that out on YouTube or on our site after the fact, you'll be able to do that. And we're going to send out links to everybody with the links that we put the videos up on. Anyone who registered is going to receive those. That being said, if that specific question isn't answered, I'm gonna note it down to make sure that we can get that to you. Going back to the enrichment courses, yes, those are going to be removed just because those don't specifically align to any certification anymore. And the software at this point is so old that most people are not able to use that software, even if the projects themselves are kind of fan favorites. So we are going to make those available elsewhere, most likely on YouTube. Don't quote me on that yet, but they should be available at least to those teachers who are still using them to an extent. But the Word Expert and the Word, I'm fairly certain that those are all going to have their own certifications, but we'll make sure to have that answered tomorrow.
Yes, they're for different
Awesome, thank you.
certifications. I'm sorry.
They
They
are?
are
They
for
are, Bob?
different certifications, yes.
Okay, cool.
You will have to see that with the Microsoft certification progress, how it works. First, you need to have the basic ones, and then you can choose one of these expert ones. So they're by stage. You don't usually do both at the same time.
Yeah, and I think that I could be wrong about this too, but I'm pretty sure that the only ones that are available in Expert are Word and Excel. I'm pretty sure that PowerPoint and Outlook don't have the Expert courses or certifications.
Yes.
Is there a, I don't want to say scope and sequence because they're all their own individual, but is there a recommendation of which courses I should be starting my students in first over the others? Or is that a question for like tomorrow's class?
I guess so. It would be better for tomorrow, but also depends on your students. What are they interested in, or what's your school interested in having them do? Most people do Photoshop, or most famous courses would be Photoshop, After Effects, and Illustrator too.
Yeah, and really the only courses we have that kind of go in that kind of A to B you know, prerequisite level are going to be the Microsoft courses, that being Word and Excel, leading into the Expert courses. But then also we have Adobe Premiere and Adobe Premiere Level 2. That's really our only other course that has that kind of second level at the moment.
Do we have any other questions? No, I'm just gonna show you something that I forgot to show you. That is the My Account button. Okay, you can access it from anywhere. It's just down here at the bottom. You click on it. And this is the same for students, for license managers, for teachers. You will click here on account details, and you can change your password through here. Okay, so you will put the password you currently have, and you put the new one here. That's it. You want to change your email, you can do that through here. You want to change your name, you can do that through here too. Okay, this is for students, for teachers, for all the users to know. It's fairly simple. And here I'm in the My Class page, and here it is, My Account. It's just that simple. To contact us, you can also just contact us through here, contact, and it will open up the form for you. And also, if you're a teacher, you want to learn more about these courses before you start your classes, you can always access the course through here. You have free access to all of them, all the ones that come with your package, and you can just do the course yourself, just check it out, check out the questions. If you're interested, you have access to all of these too. Okay. Tomorrow we'll dig in on the teacher files, the student files, how these videos work, what was the idea behind them. These videos will be recorded, the webinar will be recorded, and we'll make it available through our website. But it's best if you guys come, because then we'll have more questions, we'll have more points of view. That's what we want. We want to hear you, and we want to hear your questions. Yes, hear your questions, to be able to support you. Do we have any other questions before we finish them? No? All right, then this will be it for today's webinar. Thank you very much for joining in with us. It was a lot of fun to be with you, and I hope to see you tomorrow for learning about the teacher files and the grading and everything else. Thank you very much for tuning in with us. Bye.
Thank you.